Welcome to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Council. I am Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It's our pleasure, our honor to facilitate this event. We do it every single month. It is free. It's open to the public. We throw in coffee and Danish courtesy of our good friends at Steamworks Coffee Bar, and they now own that great place. And they also have a location for events on US 1. So I wanted to get that plug in for them because they're such a good partner to us. As you may or may not know, we have a sponsor that helps us be able to do this event every single month. And this month, this might be a familiar face to our Facebook users throughout the county and people that network at all. I have with me the one, the only, Veronica Kolobab. Welcome, Veronica.
Thank you, Teresa, very much.
And it's nice to have you here. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the Martini Network, yeah?
Yes.
So if people don't know this about Veronica, I have known her for probably 20 years now.
Yes.
And I've never known her to have just one job. That's just not how she rolls. So currently she is the marketing director for Nice Roofing. Mm-hmm. And you have a side hustle, as they say, Eating with V, where you make healthy snacks. Mm-hmm. And then you have, of course, the Martini Network, which has been around for a very long time as well.
17 years this year.
Yeah, 17 years. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the Martini Network.
Yeah, well, back to Nice. I'm the Director of Business Development for Nice Roofing. Love them. And the Martini Network actually was birthed because there really wasn't anything besides chambers and join groups at that time, back in 2008. So Melissa Adams and I decided to start a group, and the perfect name was Martini Network because it was an after-hours social, and it's open to everybody, both men and women. And I tried to give it up after about 10 years, and they wouldn't let me. So we're hitting our 17th year this year. In July, we're having a huge anniversary party at Tutti Fresco.
So it's an interesting connection. Everybody's connected here in St. Lucie County, right? It's like, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's 2 degrees of the chamber, I think. But when you started it with Melissa Adams, she worked for me at the chamber, I think, at the time.
Yes.
And we did have an after hours, but that's not really our niche. Mm-hmm. And we like to work with other networking groups. You can't just join one group, right? And there's other ways to meet people. So we don't try to have a monopoly on networking.
No.
We'd rather work together.
The chamber does so much more than networking. I mean, the chamber has business resources and fundraising for businesses and legislation and all of these things.
A PAC. We do leadership. We do Young Floridian. We do all kinds of stuff. And so we're very supportive of our other networking groups as well. We like to work together. Yeah. So tell us, when is Martini Network? When does it happen? Where does it happen? How does it happen?
So it happens every second Wednesday of the month, 6 to 8 p.m. We move them around. So the best bet is to join our Facebook group, which is on my stand-up banner over there. You can join our Instagram, too. That's new. Nicholas Scalise from the Port St. Lucie Business Club gave me a kick in the butt. He and Danny are like, you need to be on Instagram because you might be the OG, but don't be an old girl. You need to get on Instagram. So we now have Instagram. Help us build that. That would be great. And we move it around to different venues. So the best thing to do is drop me a card. I'll put you on our email list, or get on our Facebook group because you can interact there as well. Yeah.
I was reluctant. I still don't really monitor the Instagram very much. We are old girls, aren't we? We're Facebook users.
Yes.
It's funny. We talked about the networking, and I often refer people to some of Nicholas's and your networking groups. When you're first starting out, you're new to networking, it's a great place to sort of dip your toe at a lower cost.
Yes.
Make sure you've perfected your skills, and then they sort of transition into the chamber, and hopefully not until they're ready, because the chamber's a bit of a commitment.
It's a big commitment.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, the Martini Network is good for, and another collaboration with the chamber, is that we offer business resources workshops. So now we bring all of the resources, as many as we can, into one place. And you'll find those on our Facebook group as well, or through the email if you're on our list. But we bring in special speakers, like Nicholas is going to be teaching about AI. I teach about business networking, because those are skills people need to hone in. Networking is very different than what you might think it is when you're new. It's not just blurting out everything about your business. It's really getting to know the person and developing a relationship.
Yeah, I think people go about it wrong. Here's my 2 cents on my PSA for networking is ask questions about them, don't tell them about you.
Right.
And that's the best way to sort of get started.
For
And I
sure.
think people miss out on that. I saw in my early days at the chamber, there was a lot of card exchanges, and then I can't tell you what I did with any of those cards.
Oh, we can, but we won't.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have them. I can tell you that. No. All right. Very good. So what else? And they can go to your website. They can figure out when it is. Now, you usually go different counties as well.
Back and forth, St. Lucie, Martin County. I used to do Martin Indian River and St. Lucie, which became a huge project. So now Ellen has a great event in Vero Beach that she does after hours, so I stick to Martin and St. Lucie. And most recently, I have been certified SCORE mentor. So
okay.
I recently have been certified as a SCORE mentor as well.
And we do a lot of referring to SCORE. SCORE, SBDC, these are all our partners too. We don't want, nobody wants to duplicate efforts. It's inefficient, and nobody has that unlimited resources to be doing everything that everybody else is doing. So we work with SCORE, we work with SBDC, the Minority Business Association. We work with all of those as well. Yeah.
And I refer people too back to the chamber, of
Yeah.
course, always.
Yeah.
So that circle of resources for people is vital.
Because in the end, it's about making sure that businesses are successful.
Yes.
And not, it's not a personal gain. We all gain by making sure these people are supported, their businesses are supported.
Yes. 100%.
Very good. All right. Anything you need to tell them before we before we visit with the mayor?
No, just join us at the Martini Network. We would love to see you there, and you do not want to miss the July event. There will be a ton of people there. We pack the house at Tuta Fresco, always the second Wednesday of the month, and you're welcome to come to the group and see when and where we are.
Very good. And we just recently gave up our evening event so that we could be more supportive of yours and Nicholas's, because we want to all work together. So good. All right. Well, thank you, Veronica, for being with us
Thank
today.
you,
I appreciate it so much.
Thank you very
As
much.
always.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
My pleasure.
And stick around. I'm sure people are going to visit with you. And if you have a business, make sure you get with Veronica and find out more about the Martini Network. And with that, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. Welcome back to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Council. I am still Teresa Aronson, but now I'm joined by the one, the only mayor of this beautiful city of Port St. Lucie, Shannon Martin, everybody.
Good morning. How are
Morning.
you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
You too.
Yes. Always nice to see you. I feel like I know you do this like every few months, but it seems like longer. And I'm not
Yeah.
sure what the rotation is. Maybe the Tel Web guys know better than I do, but I feel like it's random.
Yeah, I think what happens is that we have a rotation, but then
Scheduling.
and so sometimes we have to swap out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what happens.
Very good.
Right.
So it is this May or June? Somebody yell
May.
out. It's May? Okay.
Yes.
So this is our June show, which means summer.
Yes.
Are you guys doing summer camps at the Mid-Florida Event Center again?
Yes,
Or-
we expanded our summer camp program because of
good.
the high demand
Yeah.
for summer camps. So we expanded it between Mid-Florida and Minsky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Add more kids to be able to go to camp.
And I imagine we're going to do a July 4th huge festival of some sort.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
At the Mid-Florida
Every
Event
year
Center
at
every
Yep.
every year.
Yeah.
So we never miss out on that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what else is the standard issued for summer activities.
Well, before I forget, because I will forget, so we do have 2 events coming up.
Okay.
So this weekend, it's Councilman Pickett worked on it quite heavily, Vet Fest at Mid-Florida Event Center.
Oh, yeah.
And then on June 7th, of course, is our Hurricane Expo. Every year we have the Hurricane Expo to share information with residents about how to prepare for hurricanes. We have WPBF coming up, our meteorologist there, to talk about weather and
How
all
many
that
of
fun
you
stuff.
have been to the Hurricane Expo? Like, literally, that's a smattering of about 5 people. But, I remember when I first moved here, people would say hurricanes, and we're like, yeah, whatever. Let's, get some snacks and hunker down. And I don't feel like we do that anymore. Whenever you say hurricane, everybody's like,
Yeah.
let's get rallied here. Let's get stuff together. Because now we don't even know, even if we're not taking a hit from a hurricane, we're getting some sort of remnant weather.
Yeah, and the difference is, you have a long time to prepare with
Yeah.
hurricanes typically.
Yeah.
And then when you've had 50,000 people move to our city in the last 4 years,
Is that
right?
all?
And they're coming from other places, and maybe they don't have a lot of experience with hurricanes.
Yeah.
And it's great to be able
It's
to
a rookie
communicate
mistake.
and educate people on,
Yeah,
what
it's a
to
rookie
do.
mistake thinking that it's hitting on the other side of the coast, or
Right.
it's gonna go north or south of us. It's a rookie mistake.
But it's also a good opportunity for our departments to also share how we prepare to help our citizens in that time of crisis if there is a hurricane, and what we do
Yeah.
for our emergency management. So
Very good.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot going out at emergency management, and it's been sort of crazy between last year. I feel like we just got through last year's hurricane season, to be honest with you.
well, and the anomaly last year, if you remember, is when we had the two hurricanes come across the state back to back a week apart
Yeah.
with the tornadoes, which was quite shocking and surprising to all of us because we've never had anything like that before.
No.
And so,
Not of that caliber.
Right.
The EF whatevers, are typically reserved for, Tornado Alley. And they struck here this past year, which was a little bit devastating.
yeah, and hopefully we don't have that again.
One can only hope.
Yeah.
I feel like they can, put men on the moon. They can't figure out a way to disseminate a hurricane's eye, but we'll see.
Well, it's Mother Nature. It's hard to control Mother Nature, right?
She is a beast.
Yep.
What else we got going on?
So definitely, always lots going on. Lots of projects happening in different stages of progress. We are in the middle of our budget right now.
Yes.
And our city manager is working very hard with all the various departments to figure out what we're going to need and how we're going to operate our city going forward. So that's happening. And we just had on Monday, our workshop, we just had the approval of our capital improvement program. And so what we have to do is every year, we, based on the projects that are coming forward, our city manager and staff present us what our capital improvement program is going to look like for the next fiscal year.
Okay.
And we also project 5 years out. Actually, we even go further than that. We focus on 5 years out, but we actually do it for 10 years out because there's so many things that are happening. And obviously with a city of our size, and obviously with all of our growth and the challenges, as you can imagine, we have hundreds and hundreds of projects that have to get done over the next several years. And just to give an example,
Okay.
our staff presented to the city manager's team 202 project requests,
And these are just capital projects?
all capital projects.
Oosh.
So remember, we have all of our plans that fit into our strategic plan. Like we have a 20-year stormwater plan. We have a 50-year utility plan. We have repaving plans, sidewalk plans. So all of those things are capital when they're new, right? Capital projects are new projects that have to get done. So when they reviewed the project request, the estimated total funding for those 202 projects exceeded $1.6 billion with a B dollars.
Do we have $1.6 billion?
No, we do
Oh,
not.
don't? Okay.
However, it's over several years, right, that these things have to get done.
Okay.
And 140 of those projects totaled $795 million, which included stormwater operating revenues, because that's a separate fund.
Yeah.
And of course, the golf course is a separate fund. Utilities is a separate fund. And those were all included in the 5-year plan. So,
Yep. Those
but-
are all enterprise funds?
well,
The golf course
golf
is-
course is not an enterprise
Yeah, I
fund.
think so.
It's part of the general fund, but it's kind of separate because
Okay.
it's a revenue. Utilities is an enterprise fund. And so then looking at what's going to be for the next year, just the 1-year capital improvement plan. We have 82 projects, and they're projected to cost around $275 million. There's stormwater projects, there's utility projects, there's road projects, you name it. We have all different types of projects in that. But it's really important to focus on, because all these things are priorities that have to get done in order to address the needs of our city going forward.
Yeah.
So you know, just sitting there and looking at all the numbers and looking at all the projects, it's quite daunting, right? But we know that they have to get done, and we have to keep moving our city forward and finding ways, whether it be through general revenue, grant funding, you know, working with all of our partners to get these projects done.
Yeah.
So, but we did approve our the tentative 1 year and the 5-year plan. And so we're going to be moving forward with that. And if anyone has any questions about what projects we're going to be working on, I have a whole list here. We have information on our city website, and also sending out that information in my newsletter as well. But we're moving forward.
And what pieces of the budget do you think might affect them? I'm assuming that maybe trash collection went up just a bit.
So what's going to happen with trash collection is not on the collection side. So we have a agreement, obviously, with FCC, and it's in place till 2029. The collection with the contract that we have with the city, we have with FCC, it can go up 4% max for CPI, according to the Consumer Price Index, for inflation. That's the max it can go up. However, on the disposal side, and that's where the garbage gets taken to the county landfill. Mm-hmm. The county runs the landfill, and the county has not increased the disposal costs for many years. But
Correct.
They have recognized through their analysis that they are going to, they already did actually on the unincorporated, increase the fees. So we will see an increase in the disposal side. The number that came forward from Mr. Landry was around $69. However, our team, our solid waste team, in looking at that, disagrees with that number because they believe that the tonnage numbers were off.
Okay.
So they're actively working on that right now to see
So
what
that's a
gonna look
jumping
like.
off point is 69, and we'll.
That's what was presented to us by the county when Mr. Landry came.
Yeah.
But again, we're looking at all of the numbers and seeing what that really looks like. So
Okay.
what'll happen is, as most know, with our budget cycle, the city manager, like I said, is wrapping up that. He will present the budget to us at our July workshop. The numbers, excuse me, from the property appraiser should come the end of this month. And then what'll happen is those numbers will change a little bit by July 1st.
Yep.
And so our final numbers will come in July 1st. Those numbers with our revenues will be projected or put into the budget. And then that's what we talk about at our workshop. And that's what the city manager will really base the budget on. But
Very
we
good.
do it based on estimates and based on what our trends are and what we
Yep.
project going into the next year. So
So the property appraiser will give you a number, and then
Yep.
the trim notices will go out. Everybody will have their information on their proposed increases or decreases or whatever it is
right,
for each district and ad valorem.
yes.
Yep.
And so, you know, one of the things that came out of this CIP and what we've known that's going to happen, that we're going to need to do going forward is, so we've worked very hard on making sure we reduce our debt. We've reduced the debt over 44%. And not all debt is bad debt, right? You need to have debt in order to get a lot of these projects done. And why do we bond out also? Because number one, we don't have, for example, if you need $65 million for infrastructure projects, which believe me, we have, you want to make sure that you could pay for it over the long period of
Yeah.
time. And then also new residents, it's not just our existing residents who are paying for that, the impacts that are being created and the projects have to get done. New residents moving in also will bear that burden, obviously, to pay
Yeah.
for it.
If we waited till we had the cash in hand,
We would never get anything done.
no, we'd be 10 years behind
Yeah.
all the time.
So there's going to be several bond issues in the next year or so coming forward. Like I said, we're going to have about a $65 million bond for road improvements, for infrastructure. The utility system, we have to expand our Glades plant because of the growth.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily need to, need it now in terms of, oh, there's a problem. But if you don't start planning sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
you don't want to wait till there is a problem.
You always got to get ahead of it.
And we have plenty of capacity. There's just things that need to be expanded at the Glades plant. So the city manager and the team are starting to figure out what that looks like and plan for that expansion at that plant. Also, stormwater projects. We're looking to bond stormwater projects because we have so many that have to get done. We have over $250 million worth of stormwater projects. And so if we don't start really getting aggressive at attacking those, it's just going to continue to drag out, and they have to get done. And a perfect example is going to be a project called the Okamic Watershed Improvement Project in the Savona Okamic area.
Yeah.
Right? So that's an area where the water goes the opposite direction where the flow is with the drainage, and it's just because of the water table, it's because of the way the area was built. And so similarly to what we did on the eastern side with the Eastern Watershed Improvement Project to reduce flooding, because even if it's not a super heavy rain, that area gets flooded.
Yeah.
So we have to tackle it, we have to address it.
Is that right there where Okamic School is? And
Yes.
yeah, that
and the
is
little
a mess.
shopping center
Yeah,
and the
little
churches are
shopping
right
center.
there.
Yep.
Right, off Savona.
It's
on top.
it's a hot mess.
Yeah, it's a hot mess. So,
It's always like knee deep.
right, and
Yeah.
absolutely. And there's been pictures of buses and cars underwater and everything. So we have to tackle that, and we're actively working on that right now.
Good.
Yeah, and so we're just moving
Plugging
ahead,
along.
plugging along, and
I'm sure
making sure that
people-
we get things done.
We'll have lots of questions. As we say on this show, if you have questions, you have to come down and ask them, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't do them on camera. We don't actually have the ability to do that. It's a 2-camera show, a 2-microphone show, so we don't have the ability to do that. But we will take some questions, when we're done.
I'll take all
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you would. All right. Anything else we need to tell them? I have a few announcements of some things going on for us, but with the city.
I know people have been asking about what's going on with the restaurant at the port.
Oh, yeah.
The contractor was selected. The plans, all the pre-construction meetings have happened, so that's moving forward. So hopefully we'll see groundbreaking in the next couple months, and that'll be wonderful.
Good. Yeah, everybody's going to love that. I mean, the port is so cute anyway. The playground is state of the art. I love that the museum's open, the botanical gardens. The botanical gardens are over a decade old now, so they've really grown, right?
Like 15 years, right,
Yeah,
Patricia?
15.
15 years, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
So they're really beautiful. I mean, they have full, foliage, and it's really nice.
It
Very
is.
nice.
Absolutely.
A lot of bugs, but very nice. A lot of mosquitoes down by the port, but that's okay. Go in the daytime. Yeah.
Bug spray.
Bug spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing our adult spelling bee as always. Now, how many of you have participated in that before? It's a ton of fun. It's 3 adults on a team spelling really badly, typically in a very fun setting. And of course, this year we're going to be at Dave & Buster's again, which is right here in Port St. Lucie, obviously.
Fun.
Yep. And so that's been going on for, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. 19 years.
Wow.
19 years we've been doing that. And then we have the county update. You mentioned George Landry. He is the county administrator. Once a year we do a luncheon where he comes and talks to us about what's going on at the county. Because typically I do these shows with elected officials, and rarely do I do anything with the, the heads of the jurisdictions. So once a year I do a county luncheon update with George Landry, the county administrator. I do one with Jesus Morejo, the city manager of Port St. Lucie. And I hope to maybe continue that on with Mr. Chess, who's new in Fort Pierce. I haven't gotten with him yet, but I will. And so that's coming up on July 30th. And our fishing frenzy, oh my goodness. I can't even tell you how many years, but we're still doing it. We're still plugging away at the fishing frenzy. It's been moved to June 6th and 7th. We had some really bad weather. The waves were pretty high, so there's still time to get involved in that June 6th and 7th. It's a dolphin-only tournament. So that's kind of it for us. I want to thank each of our sponsors, Craig Jeffries for the fishing frenzy, and Wire 3 for the adult spelling bee, Ashley Capital, Ashley Capital with Jill Morales' group, for the county update. And of course, my good friend, my dear, dear friend, I couldn't do it without him. Travis Leonard is our golf sponsor for A&G Pools
Nice.
for their golf tournament. So there you go. All of that stuff is online at stluciechamber.org too. All right. Anything else before we start taking questions?
No, we'll take questions.
Okay.
Happy to.
Well, I'm going to sign off then on the show. I want to thank everybody for being with us. I want to thank Veronica Kolobab and the Martini Network for being our sponsor today, and Michael from Steamworks Coffee Bar and that Crepe Place and Junction Cafe and all of his businesses. And he has got a great family that helps him out with that. And, of course, your staff. It looks like we have somebody new, right, Gus? Andy. Okay, well, welcome aboard, Andy. And then most importantly, everybody here in the audience, thank you so much for coming down. It means so much that you come down and participate, and seeing the friendly faces every month means so much to me. So I'm always glad. Our Del Webb guys none of them were here last month, and I think it was shocking, right? Because we've never done one without them.
We're so used to having
I
them
know,
here.
it was upsetting, but I got through it. But at least Mel and Beth were here, as always, so that's good.
They're the
All right.
best.
I know. At least I had some, friendly faces.
Yeah.
With that, I want to thank you for watching, everybody. Until next time, we'll see you soon.